So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the types of contacts and connections in Altair SimSolid. As you probably know, SimSolid is a meshless structural analysis tool, and some of the biggest benefits are the ability to eliminate mesh creation and geometry simplification, so you can kind of move right into the step of setting up your study. So I'll walk through the process of opening a file and showing the contacts in there. So first thing I'll do is open up my file. You'll see that one of the first things that happens is I'll get a little alert that talks about overlapping parts. So on this little pop-up menu, you can scroll through the different overlapping sections, and you can decide whether you want to suppress those, or if you feel like they're valuable for your analysis, then you could decide to keep them in as well. And for this example, I'm going to keep them in just for simplicity's sake. You'll notice once I do that, I get an automatic pop-up that talks about the automatic connections. But before I get there, I want to highlight some of the different types of contacts and connections you can create using Altair SimSolid. It's all very easy to use. It's all a very simple ribbon interface. You can kind of see I'm walking through the manual connections, the automatic connections. There's quite a few seam welds, spot welds, laser welds, those different kinds of connections. And then you'll see there's an adhesive, and then our more common ones like pins, bushings, rivets, joints, things like that. Okay, so coming back to the automatic connections feature. And when you click that, you have a few options. The most important thing is to identify the gaps in the penetration tolerances that you want to do. Now, once you hit OK, you'll see over here on the left-hand side all of the different connections that it found and created it and put it into a list for you. In each one of these can actually be clicked on. You can see a quick visual feedback on the model itself, so you can understand kind of what connections it found. Now, another useful feature is the adhesive connection. Even if you have a bonded connection, you know there's going to be adhesive in the final part. The only thing you really need to understand is the thickness of that adhesive. You can click the two faces that it's going to be between and then apply it. The other option is to go through the list of connections that were created from your automatic connection field. Then you can just right-click that and apply adhesive from there. Makes it a little bit easier. Now, another few optional steps that you can use are to review your connections. You can see all of the metadata that goes along with each connection, or you can check to make sure all groups of parts are connected to the overall assembly in some way. And this just makes it so when you get to the point where you're setting up your study, everything is a lot cleaner. So that's it. You'll notice we didn't do any type of mesh creation before we're moving into setting up our study. So I'm setting up the study, going to do a linear static test. You just need to identify the support or the constraint in this example. I'm just going to use an immovable support. I'm just going to do it on the face of this nut just because that's where the hook will be pulling down on. I'm going to apply my load. So on this one, I'm just going to choose a force. I'm just going to choose these two faces for the hook and then apply a 50 Newton load on the y-axis. Then I can hit solve. Again, you'll notice that with SimSolid, there's no mesh creation, so it saves that setup step. It also saves a lot of time on the processing as well, so I get quicker results. So this one's already done. It took about 10 seconds of real-time processing, and now I can start diving into the results. I can see my typical stress, strain, factor of safety, all the typical information you would want, especially when you're doing quick design iterations. We're just looking for some basic information so we can make better design decisions going forward. So hopefully this is useful information for you. If you have any other questions, visit us at trueinsight.io. Thanks.